Hey, what's up, WCReplays.com? This is Orange doing another audio commentary. Get the replay paused at the 45-second mark. Yes, today's map is going to be played on Secret Valley. Not many audio commentaries have really been done on this map because it's more of a league map, and you probably play it more in custom games than anything. But, I mean, Blizzard did include it in one of the patches, and it's not like a ladder map. But a lot of the leagues use it, so I figured I'd go over it just because some of you might be playing in leagues. Today, Minimum versus Elfie. I will have to thank KOD-gaming.com for this replay. Their replays are so awesome. Like, they're so much more fun than, like, pro replays, because pro replays are all, like, mannered and stuff, and sometimes they put, like, ladder games on there, and there's, like, a lot of trash talk, and it's like, well, you knew, fuck you, and it's like, no, fuck you, and it's all good stuff. It's good stuff. I enjoy flames and ladder games. I don't know why. I think it's just really funny. So yeah, Orc versus Human, Secret Valley, 45-second mark. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 46, 47, 48. Alright, so this isn't going to be a super standard matchup being played here, and yes, I have tried this strategy before. It was a while ago, and speaking of which, I will be getting an intranet that will allow me to get on Battle.net in like a week. Unfortunately, I have finals, so I might not be on, but I'll probably still get on just to like use Ventrilo and talk to a few people that I haven't seen in a while. Just get some stuff out of the way and be like, oh yeah, the reason I disappeared for no reason, you know, stuff like that. Because like I joined a clan, won some little clan tournament, and then I like friggin' disappear for like 4 months. They haven't kicked me out yet, but whatever. So as you can see, like pretty obviously, it's basic orc build order and build placement. I mean, sure, it is kind of a little bit of an offensive build. And the only problem with this is early game they might defended footies push you, so all you really have to do is keep pressure on your opponent with the Blade Master, maybe do a little creeping at the Fountain of Health, and what you should be doing actually is sort of what he's doing, except move all of your wood peons to the right side instead so that you can actually repair that burrow. But in this case, 2 of the burrows are kind of in the open, so that's not a bad move. But you have to consider where your Voodoo Lounge is going to be placed. So if you're going to be putting a Voodoo Lounge in front of one of the burrows, it's a good idea to use that to protect your burrows instead, and that way you won't really have to rely on the peon repair as much. So if you put like a Voodoo Lounge in front of a burrow, you can pretty much like guess that that burrow isn't going to be picked on that much, especially because it takes a while to take down a Voodoo Lounge compared to a burrow because of armor types and stuff. So obviously general early game going on, and basically the humans trying to get to level 2. One thing I will point out is that a lot of people, like especially Lynn, since a lot of people are starting to copy him now instead of friggin' everyone else, like Grubby and Focus and stuff. But yeah, I figure since everyone's starting to copy him, I might as well commentate on this. He has been using Farseer and stuff instead of Blade Master, especially on this map. So I thought I'd point out the 2 differences and when harassing the human player. Get surrounded by the human player. Watch your grunts when you're trying to harass them while creeping. That's the one thing that you don't want to be losing because they're 200 gold and they're really expensive. And they give a lot of EXP. Anyways, the main differences between the Blade Master and the Farseer is basically the Blade Master you use more to not only deal damage to the Archmage, but you limit his ability to gain experience as opposed to his ability to creep. And the reason that it's different with the Blade Master as opposed to the Farseer is because the Blade Master you can actually pick off various creeps and get some creep kills here and there with that. Also on this map, it's a good thing to point out that you can be way more aggressive when harassing. So obviously you can tank that much on the Blade Master, and not be too worried about getting screwed over by an early tower push, which is what is going on here. OMG. Look at me, I talk like freak. Anyways, basically, what you do to kind of prevent this is you kind of stall them from doing as much damage with their militia, and then when they kind of time out, that's when you bring your peons out, and that's when you start beating on stuff with your peons. Of course, try and make sure that you don't lose your burrows in the process. And if they start stupidly focusing a building, go ahead and take down their peasants. Obviously, it's a smart thing to do because, you know, the fact that you can repair the burrow means they're really going to get nowhere, and all they're doing is wasting time. Well, you gain a little bit of EXP by focusing down little peasants, and that way they can't get their towers up. And this is a nice smart move, which is he's using 2 grunts to focus down peasants. Good idea to just split up when you're doing that. Generally, you can use 1 or 2, or you can use like 4 or 5 peons or something, and just focus those down. What I have seen used recently is some offensive burrows, which is basically when the towers start to go up, they bring out a whole bunch of peons, and then they build one, like, say, in front of the Voodoo Lounge, and that way it kind of screws over any towers, because burrows take a lot less time to go up than towers. Way to path yourself. It kind of sucks when that happens, but obviously automatic pathing can really screw you. Also, don't spend too much time chasing around the Archmage. That's one minor mistake that really doesn't cost minimum this game, is that he kind of chased down the Archmage a little too much. I mean, you're only going to get like 2 or 3 more hits on him, so obviously just like back off, wait for him to come back, because obviously he's not just going to leave and never come back. So just wait till he's out of the picture and then go all in and start focusing peasants, and then when he comes back, start focusing the Archmage, stuff like that. Dark Ranger second, not a bad choice. A lot of people will be like, OMG, stupid choice, screw you. It's actually a pretty good choice, especially when fending off like a tier 1 tower push like this. One thing I will point out is don't be stupid, which is don't do what he just did, which is get his Dark Ranger surrounded. So, yeah, there's that. There's a few reasons why going Dark Ranger second is actually a pretty decent idea. Number 1 is that if they do a tier 1 tower push like this, what you can do is pretty much snipe every peasant down one by one and gain a lot of dark minions, and then you can just use those to focus down the towers because they won't have any peasants left to heal anything, and you should be pretty even army-wise, especially if they spent all that money trying to get peasants and lumber and stuff over to your base. That was kind of a weird move. He should have just run around the rocks if you saw that with the Archmage, and the Blade Master if you didn't, not a biggie. It was just kind of a movement and pathing thing that happens on this map, so I thought I'd point that out. Anyways, later game Dark Ranger, sure you want to be going, like, if they don't tier 2 tower push you, go silence first, or tier 1 tower push you, my bad. That's when you go Dark Arrow first. Let me repeat that, because that probably sounded really stupid. If they tier 1 tower push you, go Dark Arrow first, just because you can actually get the extra units, which come in quite handy, especially if they fail, and then you can kind of push them with your mini skeleton army, and hopefully deal some damage by harassing peasants that way. Always a good thing to do. If you get the Dark Ranger at tier 2, which I often do, don't bother going Black Arrow. You're just going to get screwed over anyways. You're like, the only way you can actually win that is if you are really good with Ensnare and really good with a Blade Master. Otherwise, it's really not going to work out for you. And your best bet is Silence. Reason being, that way they won't be able to cast slow, and generally casters clump even if there's a Dark Ranger around. So one thing to keep in mind is if they clump, that just gives you the go-ahead to silence them, and then you have a huge advantage, because not only do they rely on the Sorks to be, not only their damage output, but reducing your damage output and hopefully outdoing you that way. Basically, slow is really the only reason they're imbalanced in the first place. Yeah, sure, breakers beat up raiders, whatever, but slow is the main reason. And then the summons are second, but summons are more easily counterable by, like, Purge or something, and you can dispel that Of course, you can dispel slow, but it's just more of a pain in the